What a shit performance by the Yankees. Embarrassing loss. They need help in the bullpen. They need help now. You know the problem with that is? Brian Cashman just can't go out and get the guys he wants like that. It takes two to tango. The teams have to make them available. So are we going to wait? Or does he have to wait? Can he just bring in somebody here? And does he have to settle for whatever he can get, right? We just don't know. We just don't know yet. So I'll keep this relatively short and sweet. We're in dinner time right now. So shout out to everybody in here. Paul Goldschmidt came with box scores. He was 2 for 5. Cody Bellinger 1 for 5. Judge 2 for 2 with 3 walks. And no surprise. He's batting .358. Jazz Chisholm 0 for 3. Giancarlo Stanton 1 for 4. Jason Dominguez 1 for 5 with 3 ribbies. Volpe 0 for 5. Escar 0 for 5. And DJ LeMahieu 2 for 3. Batting .250. Pitching wise, Max Fried wasn't sharp today. But he got through 6. Only 3 hits, gave up 4 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Mark Lara Jr. got the loss. Okay, he's not been good. A third of an inning, 1 hit and 2 runs. And then behind him, Luke Weaver gave up a grand slam. But some of those runs were credited to Mark Lara Jr. So Weaver was not good either. Okay. Jeff Hartley came in through an inning, 2 hits, 3 runs. He wasn't great either. JT Brubaker came in through a third of an inning, got 1 strikeout. He was the best reliever of all of them. And that's it. That's it, right? The Yankees have an opportunity to tie the series at best now. Otherwise, they're going to lose the series. So, thankfully, the Rays lost yesterday. But that doesn't help when the Blue Jays are beating the Yankees directly. So, and it is what it is, right? Before I go around Robin, there's been some people accusing me of doing clickbait stuff and all this stuff. Let me just make something clear, all right? Clickbait is in the titles. The misleading titles, okay? I put out the title on the short break earlier. The Yankees had a new outfielder, right? Because the new outfielder came into the clubhouse, Brian De Los Santos, right? And so what happens? That means an outfielder is going to go out. We know Judge isn't going to go out, and we know Bellinger's not going to go out. So the only 2 other options are what? Grisham, Dominguez. I mentioned both, right? Because those are the 2 options. Okay, and people accuse me of hating Dominguez or putting clickbaity stuff. That's a fact, okay? This is pretty straightforward stuff. And I'm not just going to sit here and tell people what they want to hear because they want to hear this. If I wanted to do clickbait crap, I'd be doing Yankees should get rid of Volpe. They should fire Boone. Or should they get rid of Volpe? Or confirmed the Yankees make 2 big deals. There's a channel out there that's been doing this crap for months. And none of the deals the Yankees have made. Yankees make 2 deals. The fans are going ballistic. What deals? None of them are true. So stop with the clickbait stuff. That's clickbait. I don't waste my time with that shit. Okay? It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of yours. Period. Okay? But, the problem right now, is Fernando Cruz is injured. And I said, well, it sounds like he's probably going to miss maybe 6 to 8 weeks, unfortunately. Shout out to everybody in the chat, by the way. And that's a big blow. Yankees need at least 2 high impact arms in the bullpen, maybe even 3. Okay? So, and situationally, the Yankees aren't capitalizing on opportunities either. So, whatever bat they bring, it's got to be a good contact bat. And they need 2 relievers. We have to get help in the bullpen. And do we think teams are just going to go out of their way to help the Yankees? No, they're not. Okay? So, unfortunately, yeah, exactly. We're not in the front office, right? We're not in the front office. So, but even in the front office, the Yankees front office, you can't just make a phone call and say, I want your guy, send them over, no matter what the cost is. They can't do that. Teams aren't doing that. The teams do not go out of their way to help the Yankees. Okay? So, well, I appreciate that, Ken. Yeah. People accuse me of doing clickbait stuff. Like, clickbait will be in the titles. I don't do this bullshit. Right? Get rid of Volpe. That's the narrative being pushed out by people on Twitter and Fairweather fans channels. Should the Yankees get rid of Volpe? Come on. Yankees should fire Boone. Like, it's stupid stuff. That's what people want to hear, that they know not going to happen. Right? So, what's the point of any of it? That's clickbait crap. Okay, but yeah, Gilbert, really? Come on, fire, boom, right? Whatever you say, dude. Consigliere, there he is. There he is, my man. How are you? Yeah. Jazz was. I don't think Jazz was ever at shortstop. I like to see him go back to second. I'm not sure if Jazz ever played shortstop, did he? So Bird and McMahon will be a multiplayer trade that I would do. I would not do Arenado and either Helsley or someone else with the Cardinals at this point. I don't think that's the right move at this point. So, and yeah, it's a very ugly game. Yeah, there's no denying that, man. Yep. What's unacceptable, Jose? They're playing with their heads up their asses, but you want to hold the manager accountable, not the players. Why is he all of a sudden the fall guy? Yeah, Palvis. Yeah, I mean, like loyal fans, realistic fans, not clickbait fans. Yeah, Showalter, and there are people actually pushing, and they're doing these polls on Twitter, X, or whatever you call it. I call it Crap Network, right? Doing a poll: should the Yankees A, fire Boone and bring back Girardi, B, fire Boone and bring back someone else? Those are the only other options they're giving people, right? So it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But the first people who should be held accountable are the players. Lack of fundamentals. I don't think it's as intense as people say it is. Yeah. New hitting coach? Nah, not yet, Sharon. No, I don't think they need to get a new hitting coach. How come the Tigers and Dodgers look more fundamentally sound? Let's see. Let's have a look. The Dodgers have more errors than the Yankees. I'm looking at the MLB team errors rankings right here. And Detroit Tigers have more errors than the Yankees. So when you say they look more fundamentally sound, what do you mean? Or is that someone else's talking point that you're using? This is the MLB team rankings. Texas is first, and Philadelphia, and Seattle, then St. Louis, then the Braves, then the Cubs, then the Royals. The Tigers are 8th. The Houston's 9th. Toronto's tied for 9th with Houston. The Dodgers are 11th. The Yankees are 12th. And the Mets are 13th. Yeah, give more, judge more protection. Yeah, I mean, and the guys we have here have to do better. Like Cody Bellinger, I mean, I think he's playing well enough, but we could use a little bit more, and we need Giancarlo Stanton to kind of become the Giancarlo Stanton we know. But we already know when he's coming off an injury that it comes off and he sucks for a little bit, and then he starts to pick it up, right? Hold on, we get something here. Strike out way too much. Contact hitters, yes. I don't know if a starter is going to happen. They definitely, I mean, it might, and it really depends on who's going to be available. 2 relievers has to happen. Absolutely has to happen. No. No. Yep, 10-14 against the AL East. They have to do better there. Now let's round robin this around the horn here today so far. I mean, it's only an afternoon game, but no score Cardinals Pirates right now. No score Twins Marlins. A bunch of games haven't happened yet. The only other final scores are Phillies and Padres are postponed because it's raining. Nationals, Tigers postponed because of the weather. And the Mets and the Brewers are postponed because of the weather. There are no other scores at all in any of the other games. The Yankees game has been the only game that's finished today. There's nothing else to report. No. Trade with Minnesota. Who are you thinking, franchise? Get Castro and John Duran. Yeah, Volpe has to definitely get better in the quick response reactions. No doubt about that. Cashman will make multiple trades, Sharon, before the deadline. But who, we don't know yet. And that's one of the frustrating parts. Castro and Duran. I mean, Castro could be a table setter at the top of the lineup. He's fast, and Duran's a nasty closer too. So you can make a trade like that. I wonder what the cost would be. That's the problem. And replace Volpe with who? Muffins. No, Correa, forget Correa. Hard pass on Correa. At that price, hell no. Yeah. And who are you gonna call up realistic in place of Volpe? Hazen, Bednar. Yeah, I mean for the Pirates, yeah, you can. That's a possible move. That's a possible move. So yeah, Correa, forget Correa. Just like forget Luis Rengifo. Like these are pointless trade proposals that people are putting out. Seager's not worth $325 million, realistic. Okay. Not worth $325 million. That's why it makes sense. He's not worth $325. Now let's see something. Pull up Seager. It's about 244 right now. He's been with Texas for 1, 2, 3, 4. He was solid in 2023. I think that's the year they won the World Series, right? Yeah, that was his best year. But aside from that, his stats are not justifying $325 million. I don't know, Thomas. That's the question. Who you've seen? I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah. No, Seager's not a World Series champ. The Texas Rangers are World Series champs. The team, not the player. Facts. Yeah, I got the bouncy kids, Steven. Yes, I did. And I had to stay up until midnight for them to pick it up. They were like 4 hours late to pick it up. But the girls had fun. Thanks for asking, man. Seager got his ring, and good for him. Okay. That's your argument? That's it? What are the chances he gets another ring? Close to 0? Again, Texas Rangers got their rings. It was a team effort. Would I trade Volpe for Bogarts? No, I would not. Too big of a contract. This contract's way too much. Good for Seager. Doesn't make him worth $325. I don't know. Yankees 99. That's a good question. I don't know. Why not go to Praza? No idea. That's a question to ask those guys. Yeah, Lombard's for later. He's not ready yet. He's nowhere near ready. No, he's not a complete fail. That's your opinion. He's still projected to probably get 20 home runs and 80 RBIs. That's not a failure. So I won't admit a lie. Nope. Probably the earliest too, Jonathan. Yeah, I would agree Lombard next year. Maybe, if we're lucky. If he keeps progressing. But he's got to keep progressing. He's got to keep progressing. When do I see John? If he keeps hitting well, September. Yeah. Yeah, same thing here. Same here, Brandon. Yeah, he is injury prone here. Yeah. I do. If Jones keeps hitting, he'll get a September call up, I think. Yeah. IKF could be an option. I wonder if I don't listen to Boone's press conferences, so it's a waste of time. IKF, he's been talked about by beat writers. Brian Hayes been talked about by beat writers, but I don't hear the Yankees talking about them. That's the thing. So yeah, same thing here, Tiffany. Same thing here. No, exactly. Lombard's not. He's not close to being major league ready. No, heck no. Well, you got a crush on Volpe, huh? Realistic? You going to date him or something? Hmm? Boone doesn't control the roster. He doesn't call up guys. He doesn't send down guys. Yeah, Justin's an ugly win today. They need bullpen help now if they can get it. We don't know, Milton. That's the question. What's available? What's available is the problem. Right? So what about Seth Lugo? Yeah. Do I see a trade happening? I don't know. I would hope so, but we'll see. The problem is we don't know if teams are making their players available yet because they're going to want to hold on to them to get teams to overpay closer to the deadline. Yeah. Big time middle relief, yeah. Moving warrants, I don't know if that'll happen just yet, but they could move Warren there. They could move Hill there too when he comes in. It really depends on if Stroman stays and if he performs in the rotation. Campbell is another one, so yeah. Campbell is another one who could maybe come up and contribute. Brandon Donovan, believe me, I've been talking about the guy for 2 years. If they can get him, that's the move I hope that they make. But the Cardinals have to make him available. That's the problem. He could be in the bullpen, Yarbrough. You're very well right, and he could be the lefty long relief guy. So, yeah, yeah. Stroh did not get our last win, so he'll get another shot, no doubt. Yep. McMahon from the Rockies, another guy that's these names are being floated around by beat writers. So, but the problem is these teams have to make them available. That's the thing, right? And we just don't know. So in the meantime, a lot of Yankee fans are going to be outraged that moves aren't being made. But do you see any big teams making big moves right now? See the Mets acquiring a pitcher? See the Dodgers acquiring pitching? No, nobody is. We don't know if he's not going to bullpen up. We don't know yet. You know, Fairbanks from the Rays, Diaz. I mean, possible too. I don't know if the Rays would do that, but you never know. Why? Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question too. 2 men short on the bench. Yep. I mean, just put Grisham and Wells on. They haven't announced yet. Like, put them on the IL if they're gonna miss time, please. And get like that guy Brian De La Cruz. He wasn't put on the active roster, so they couldn't even call him in. Right? So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's something procedural in the back end. We just don't know. We just don't know. I think so. It was likely a trade showcase, sure. Mhm. The problem with David Robertson is that he's going to need a 6-month ramp up, a 6-week ramp up period. He never has spring, and he's an older pitcher, so and that doesn't help our immediate needs right now because he won't be able to pitch until probably the beginning of August at earliest. Oh. And David Robinson wants to feel like he's not going to get $15 million for half a season. There's no way. Yeah. Hey, I don't know if Spencer Jones will get called up. I don't know. But if Grisham goes on the IL, that's probably just why they have this guy up here right now. So Sonny Gray, yeah, he's another one. Yeah, yeah. The Yankees could make a couple of depth moves too. So yeah, they could. I mean, maybe that's an option too. Call up Jesus Rodriguez and play him at third base. They could do that too. And move Jazz back to second, where he's more naturally suited. Right? Steven Matz. I'm more concerned about relievers right now. Yeah, Judge and Rizzo stood up for DJ. They tried to DFA him last year. And Judge, maybe it'll be different this year. The team, these guys stand up for each other. They're loyal to each other, teammates. This is a close knit unit. This is a main reason why you'll never see Trevor Bauer here, and nor should we see Trevor Bauer here. Beatty or McNeil. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Ready to explode. It's just an ugly loss, Joe. It's an ugly loss. Right? We need bullpen help, and we need it now. We need it right now. Stroman and prospects of Donovan and Sonny Gray. One of the prospects has to be Jones or Dominguez. If you want Donovan and Sonny Gray, there's no way you're going to get them without those guys. Unfortunately, no. I don't know. That's a good question. Well, he's on a July 31st deadline. DJ LeMahieu. He's got to perform, or it sounds like they're going to move on from him then. They actually gave him a concrete deadline of July 31st, which is the same day as the trade deadline. So, but he's well respected in the clubhouse. He's well respected around the game. So, they don't take that stuff lightly. They don't just dump people. Dumb? It has nothing to do with being dumb. Dumb is not the right word. His arm wasn't even far out. I looked at it 3 or 4 times. His arm wasn't extended far out. So that can happen to anybody. Wells is having tests run on his left hand, Benji. He's having a circulation problem. And they're running a bunch of different tests. So he might go on the IL, just like Trent Grisham might go on the IL, but they have not made corresponding roster moves yet. So they are, like Ken said, they are 2 men short on the bench right now. And that puts him at a disadvantage. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not looking so great right now, dear Alice. They're not looking so great. They need to come around here. They need to wake up. Yeah, Jake. I mean, I wouldn't. Even if the Yankees were 0-90, I would never become a Met fan. But that's just me. That's just me. Well, I don't know if it's a pinched nerve. I mean, that's something they would have probably found out already. But carpal tunnel. They're saying circulation. So they're running a whole bunch of. They ran a test yesterday through his his groin area. So to see if it had any connection to the lower body extremity, as it related to his nerve in his left hand. So I don't know. Yeah, we don't know. Freddie Peralta against Clay Welcome Holmes. There you go. Yeah, they're running a bunch of tests, Jocelyn. Jocelyn's right. Find out what's going on with Austin Wells. And, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But in the meantime, if he's going to miss time, put the man on the IL. Get somebody here on the bench that could take his place and at least help the team out in the meantime. We are 2 men short on the bench, and we don't need to be. Yeah, they potentially are looking for a blood clot or some type of aneurysm. That's David Cohn had aneurysm, and that's then he had that surgery to repair it, and then he came back later on, and a year later threw a perfect game. But I remember that. Thanks. Yeah. AJ Puck. I think they need to. I mean, personally, I think they need to go after some high leverage guys, but we'll see. As far as interference twice, it's not really that. I saw it today. His arm wasn't far out. The bat hit it, and it's such a quick thing that. And again, this is his first time catching at the major league level. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, Freed wasn't sharp today. He didn't have it today, so you know that's a fact too. He didn't have it. Rodon wasn't as bad as Freed was today, but it is what it is. I mean, our bullpen shit the bed. Our bullpen gave up 8 runs in 3 innings. 8 runs in 3 innings. So the bats, for the most part, were on, but they scored 5 runs. So generally, you'll win most games when you score 5 runs, but not a game like this. So if I'm them, I'm really trying my butt off to right now to bring in 2 relief pitchers, high leverage guys. If Viva Sorpresa, I don't know. There's no guarantee there. I'm tough. What is them being at third base? How does that guarantee us winning the game? I'm curious. I am pitching tomorrow, Buckeye. Yeah, so, but you gotta don't tell anybody. So I gotta head out soon. I gotta get myself ready for the game. Free did not have it today. Yeah, this is gonna happen too. Your ace is not gonna have it every night. Paul Skeens has many games this year where he didn't have it. It just happens to ace pitchers. Against who DFA? Well, Jeter used to have a say. Captains have a say. The never won a ring talking point is not a good argument. It's not a good argument. Okay, he has never won. The team hasn't won a ring. We're putting all this on players here. One player. People are acting like Seager won that ring by himself. He did not. He had 25 teammates with him, just like Judge, just like Ohtani. And he didn't do dick in the World Series, but he has a ring now. It's about the team, guys. Yeah, Gray is happy. He's doing well in St. Louis. Judge had a higher batting average than Ohtani did in the playoffs, so. No, that means the team won it, Hunttough. That means his team won. Well, exactly. Exactly, Bilal. You got to trade guys. You got to let them grow. Right? It is what it is. Got to have a combination of veterans and young players and everybody else and role players to make a successful team. Judge does have better average than Ohtani. Both stats are robust, yes, but you know, last year, yes. Traded for Leiter Jr. because he averaged like 13 strikeouts per 9 innings. That's why they traded for him, and he had like 2.5 years of control. But he also got when they got him, he was overworked by the Cubs. He was overworked by the Cubs, and he's not as sharp this year. Tim Hill was better last year. He's decent this year, but that doesn't. They still need two big. They still need 2 arms, potentially 3 arms in the bullpen. It just is what it is. Right? It's going to go right down to the wire, America. But this happens every year. The American League East almost goes down to the wire almost every year. Weaver used to be so electric. Mm-hmm. No, this is what happens. If you look at Weaver's career stats, they were never dominant for a long stretch of period of time. For this one reason, they brought in Devin Williams. Because he does have a career worth of dominant stats. We don't need him to get 6-out saves anymore, Hunttough. Look at his career stats. Last year was an outlier. This year has been an outlier. Okay? It's a good outlier, but he doesn't have the career stats to back it up. Devin Williams does. So that trade made sense. Fernando Cruz, yeah, and he's leading the major leagues in strikeout this year too, for relievers. Well, exactly too, Jocelyn. Yeah, Judge cannot win a ring without everyone else involved. Exactly. Move on from Boone and bring in who you, Elvis. This is why Hunttough. I'm hoping that they get guys in here now. I would call up Clayton Beater. You're not wrong, Clemenza. You're not wrong, bro. Cruz strikeout rate is crazy. Crazy good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cruz, yeah. I mean, Cruz is, when he's healthy, he's top notch. I mean, the Matt Blake has gotten so much more out of Cruz than I thought he would. No. Yeah. Yes, indeed. But let me let you all go. It's dinner time. I want to thank you all for coming. I hit the like button on the way out. This loss sucks. Let's just acknowledge it now. Okay. Take the L. Clayton Beaters in the major leaguer. You need to call up some. Yeah, well, exactly. Call up a guy, trade a guy. Do something right now. A move would be nice. And Cam Schlittler would be a rotation type of guy. So Shelby Miller, Diamondbacks, another one. That's another option. Yes, Schlittler is pitching today. I saw that. But yeah, gang, go have a great night, everybody. Tomorrow, the Yankees have to win. We'll be back here tomorrow. Hopefully, will their asses back to a freaking win because they need to win. Okay, we need the Yankees to kind of right the ship, and we need the Rays to lose today. All right, but that's it. Not sugarcoating, gang. Have a great night. Peace and love to all of you. Dinner time. Let's go get it.